welcome to yet another episode of Nerds with Badges. I have got this song stuck in my head, actually, a few songs. I listen to Earth, Wind, and Fire like almost on a daily basis, and I got this song like stuck in my head. Imagination, uh, All About Love. Um, just those guys were just incredible. But anyway, um, here with my AI created futuristic office background. I guess that's what this is supposed to be. I gotta like see if I can get some more crazier backgrounds. Uh, but I did go and see Sinners this weekend, and man, I kind of like hurt my arm at work. um, so I took this muscle relaxer before I went to see the movie. I wasn't expecting the drowsiness to kick in when it did. Excuse me, I think that's what happened. So anyway, I ended up falling asleep. I missed like maybe probably a good 10 or 15 minutes of the movie. It was very long, but I had to go back also because I know that there are two scenes that come after the credits. I stayed for one. I didn't know there was another one that came. And I heard that it wasn't really like, I guess it depends on your point of view. I heard that the second one didn't hit like the first end scenes credit. So um, make of that what you will when you go see the movie. Because I don't, you know what? I'm gonna give a spoiler filled review. So if you haven't seen the movie, you might want to tune out right now. Um, so what I got from my viewing, my interpretation is you have these two brothers, these two twins. It's played by Michael B. Jordan, which is incredible. When actors are able to do stuff like that, and it's amazing that we've gotten really good with special effects now too. So you can do a lot of those things seamlessly, but he pulled it off. So you have these two brothers, Smoke and Stack, and they both I guess they both had military backgrounds, and they also worked with Al Capone. So I guess they basically left that life behind and moved back to their home and opened up a juke joint, which is like basically it's a club where there was like a lot of like more like blues influence music. I don't know. Sometimes I forget that R&B stands for rhythm and blues. It just say R&B so much. Um, but anyway, what had happened was um, this one vampire. He enters the scene. I guess this is maybe about halfway through the movie when this happened. I think. Um, so this guy just kind of shows up out of nowhere. You see in the trailer the guy's like smoking, like smoke is coming off of him. He's just like kind of runs to this house, and these people let him in. He convinces them that he's on the run from these Indian people. They're gonna kill him. So they let him in, and then the Indians show up looking for the guy. They know he's a vampire, so I guess they're vampire hunters. So the lady comes to the door and she's like, "No, he's not here. We're not gonna." And so the Indians, they know that he's in there, and they're like, well, if you don't, if you let him in, like basically, God help you. And so they leave, and that was it. It was nice to see some Native American representation, badass. I would, some people have mentioned this before. It'd be really nice if they do some stories. It'd be nice to see like maybe even comic books about these guys if they're hunting vampires. Be really interesting to because there was some things that were left open about the movie. Some things that were like the end of the movie, for example. Well, there's a little girl. She's one of the main characters' daughter, and like we don't really know what happened to her. So it's kind of like left open. Maybe if they, it would really be cool if on the Blu-ray or something they would have like maybe a scene, a bonus scene where you know we see somebody go save her because the vampire is pretty much threatened to go kill this little girl. Chinese, I think, Asian, because there was an Asian couple in the movie. So anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. So the girl that back to the house, the vampire went inside. You know, they let him in, hiding him from the Indians because he's convinced them that the Indians are bad people or whatever. So the lady that went to the door with the shotgun and told the Indians to leave, she goes back in the house in another room to check on her husband, and he's like there basically bleeding out, and the vampire sitting there in the chair with his eyes glowing, you know, and she just like screams, and so that's where everything starts. So the club, back to the club that Smoke and Stack opened, there was a really powerful music scene that was just really incredible because this guy Sammy is performing, and when he performs, it's like it has this gift. His music is like so pure and powerful. It's like a magical, and it draws the vampires. Actually, they come to the club, and the music scene, actually where Sammy performs is incredible. I mean, that's definitely amazing, and I was really happy to see that they were doing they shot the whole movie in IMAX. So it's definitely something that you should go see on the big screen. Not seeing it on the small screen, it wouldn't be just as effective. But on the IMAX is just like it just really. So anyway, so vampires come to the club because they're drawn to the music from Sammy's amazing performance, where you see all the different genres of music, from rhythm and blues, and even like some futuristic stuff. Like, I mean, I thought it was really cool. You know, you see a guy walking there with an electric guitar. You know, so this is like this big scene that encompasses all the different eras of rhythm and blues. And yeah, I guess it was really a cool way of summoning the ancestors or paying homage to the music that came before and that will come after. So the vampires come to the club, and there's a sex scene that happens too. By the way, if you're bringing kids, I just want to let you know there's a pretty explicit sex scene. So anyway, the vampires come, and you know they're asking to be invited in, and the brothers don't let them in. They just, you know, they feel something's kind of off. But later, the character that's played by Haley say her name right, Steinfeld, I think her. She's very, very, very fair skinned. I mean, this girl was in True Grit, which doesn't seem like it was that long ago, but she was very young in this movie. But she's a mixed race, so she could pass as white. I mean, clearly, if you see, but she has a relationship or had a relationship with one of the brothers, and they decide that she should go and talk to the crazy white people that came to the door, not knowing they're vampires, of course. So she goes out to talk to the vampires, and they want to offer her gold to come into the club, and she turns them down. I can't remember what happens. I guess she sees that there's something not right about them. Or they say something. I can't even remember. I gotta go see it again anyway because I missed some parts, and I also missed the last end credit scene. But they turn her when she's walking away, and I'm like, these are things that have to happen in horror movies. It's like a trope, I guess you could call it. There's always gonna be one dumb person that does something stupid, that opens the door, or messes with the mystical statues that are there at the shrine saying don't touch, don't move, or the crazy person that pulls the stake out of the body in the coffin or something. So but they kind of gave away that she was going to turn anyway when they did the trailer. They show people. What I don't like about trailers now is they do give away too much, and I in the back of my mind when I watch trailers, I'm always like, okay. There's actually a little reluctance to watch trailers because back in the day, trailers didn't spoil stuff. It's like when they had Superman and Batman, when they did that movie, they show Wonder Woman, in the trailer and stuff. I think that should have been like something to surprise people. So anyway, she goes back to the club. Of course, they let her in, not thinking, and she ends up biting one of the brothers. I think, I don't know if it was Stack or Smoke, my God, but she ends up biting one of the brothers and turning him, and that all hell breaks loose. And when the vampires come back again after action scene with the brother, where he's like ejected from the club. I think they used garlic on him or something. Somehow they got him out, and the vampires all come back, and the Asian lady that's in the club, they're threatening her and her family, and they're threatening her kid, and so she was like, "Come on in, come in," And so that just messed everything up, because then all the vampires come in. It's a big fight scene, and a lot of people die. It gets pretty gory at times, and what ends up saving them is the sun coming up. So two vampires actually survive, but you don't find that out until the end credit scene. But the brother who got bit by Haley, he's no, the other brother that didn't get bit by Haley, excuse me, he has a showdown at the end of the movie with the racist people who were planning to come back and murder everybody the next day. So he stays and sacrifice himself, but he takes out all the racist people. And flash forward to like the present, or I think it was the present, because I think the first part of the movie was like in the 30s, and then I think it it was the 90s. It flashed forward to the 90s, and Sammy is like an older guy. He's performing because he survived. Sammy survived. He's an older guy, actually played by an older blues legend, and the vampire brother, Michael B. Jordan, and Haley come to visit him, and it was really cool. They even offer him a chance at vampirism because they sense that he's near death, but he says no. And I thought that was real cool that they did that. I mean, there was definitely some comparisons. Like I'm a big fan of From Dusk Till Dawn, so the whole club thing, I mean, it was a different spin on that, and it's not like other movies haven't done vampires in clubs before. And the end credit scene kind of reminded me of Queen of the Damned at the end of Queen of the Damned, when Lestat and his girlfriend came to visit one of the guys who was running that secret organization. I think it's called it's an organization that basically research and study supernatural. It's kind of like the Watchers on Highlander. They watch, they observe everything, but they don't really get involved. But Lestat and his girlfriend, they come and like offer this guy a chance at immortality, and he says no, and they have an interesting conversation. Even though he seems like he's kind of tempted in a way. It's been a while since I've seen a really, really, really good vampire movie. I mean, I didn't enjoy Nosferatu, although I do feel like it kind of fell apart in the second act. To me, this is my opinion. It felt like once they left the castle and they started focusing on like the other characters, like it kind of lost something. But I enjoyed, I really did enjoy Sinners, and I will probably go see it again. I might go this weekend. We're getting closer to Thunderbolts and then Superman, so this is going to be a good year for superhero stuff. I don't know what's going on with Blade. I don't think there's anything else superhero related coming out. I don't know about the Wonder Man TV show on Disney Plus. I think that's next year. I guess there's an Ironheart show coming at some point. But yeah, I still haven't finished watching Loki, so I gotta catch up. I'm trying to trying to keep up with too many shows, and I think I've got rid of my Max and my Peacock like I think next month. The time my membership won't renew. I got too many apps. I have Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, that came with Disney Plus. I have Crunchyroll, then I have Peacock and Max, which I canceled. And then on top of that, Xbox Live, or Game Pass, PlayStation Plus, Nintendo, Google Play. These things add up over time. By the end of the year, you're like, what the hell? When you see how much everything adds up to, it might not seem like too big a deal, $9 a month. But at the end of the year, that $9 times 5 or 6, that $9.99 a month. And Amazon, they do give you the option to pay it once. If you want to pay, you actually save more. So I would give Sinners, I would give it an 8. I would give it like an 8, an 8.5 out of 10. Another thing that's happening this week that's gonna have people, it's gonna have everybody talking is Nintendo is releasing the Switch 2 tomorrow. The pre-orders go live. So I put my name on a list, and I guess if they feel so inclined, they will let you know that you can put a pre-order in. Instead of doing what Sony did with the PlayStation 5, you put your name on a list, and if you meet certain criteria, this is a way that they can get around hackers. So you have to have at least 1 year membership of Nintendo, and you have to have had at least 20 hours of gaming time. So I'm sure there's some people out there that are probably gonna turn their Switch on and leave it on for 20 hours. It's some craziness. But I guess they're gonna have enough, hopefully. But if I don't get an email tomorrow, I'm just gonna probably wait. Yeah, it does suck having to pay $80 for Mario Kart. If you get the bundle for $500, because the Switch 2 is $450. So if you get the bundle that comes with Mario Kart, then you're saving $30. So you're only paying $50 for it as opposed to $80 if you get it. But I have a feeling those bundles are gonna probably go quickly, and they're only gonna be produced for a limited amount of time, which sucks. I hate when companies do stuff like that. But it's a good deal if you can get a bundle. So I guess at midnight tonight, they'll probably go live, I guess. I don't know, man. I'm $80, and Elder Scrolls just came out, and it's they went and improved the game, and they remastered it basically. I mean, it is a remaster. They don't want to call it a remake, but it kind of seems like that. I played it this morning, and I mean, they added a lot of stuff. You're getting a good value. I don't know. The companies take a loss when they sell the consoles. Everybody knows that, but they make so much money off of the software. Now, I think that Nintendo should have done. They should have did 400. I don't know how much the Switch OLED is because it's kind of close in price, but I think 450. When you think of Nintendo, you think of a family-friendly, budget-conscious system that has games that might not be the same. The price would be different. Usually with handhelds, especially, the price of the games would be cheaper. And I know already the PlayStation games are $69.99, and some of the Xbox games, not all of them. I don't know. It feels like some of these people are nickel and diming the gaming community, and it's amazing to me that more people aren't complaining about it. But I guess the younger generation, y'all are used to this shit. But my generation, the games were not $70, and I don't think it's something I don't think it's okay that they're charging that much. I think $60 is fair, and yeah, but that's just my take on it. I think Game Pass is a really really good deal, but I know that's going to eventually go up because I think I'm paying like $19 a month, or is it $14? But it's a good deal because you get to play the game, you get all the Xbox exclusives day one, and you can also, if you have Game Pass, you can Ultimate for like the $19. You can play those games, all those games, without even having to download them. Because I played Elder Scrolls through the cloud here at work this morning. I was actually surprised that it worked. Then when I got home, I did it on the cloud as well because I have no more space on my Xbox Series S. But I streamed the game and it was good quality. So the streaming technology's gotten really good. It's really convenient. So I'm just surprised that more people aren't getting into Game Pass. But then you have the loyalists. You have the people that won't play Xbox or whatever. It's just dumb. Games are games. They're doesn't matter what platform um, you're playing on. I mean, you play on a platform of choice, but you have more variety if you have all of them, which I do. But going forward, I'm really on the fence about getting the Switch too, because I feel that PC is the best way to go for me because I don't have to pay for online to play multiplayer games, and PC games tend to be cheaper, and you have access to so much more. And then there's the modding community. I could just go on and on, um, but and we've gotten to the point now where you don't even need to have a powerful PC to stream these games because you don't have to download anything. If you have Game Pass, you could have a shitty laptop from like 2018. That's fine if you have a stable internet connection, and even like you might be surprised that your internet connection might actually be able to stream these games with no problem. But certain types of games you might not have the best experience. But I was playing Elder Scrolls this morning on my Xbox Series S, and then I played on my laptop. And the fact that you can also load these games up on your phone, plug in a controller, or use a Bluetooth controller, and you're good to go. So you don't even need a console anymore. But like I said, you can play, you can pretty much literally say you can play all of the Xbox games, on anything now, because they have the app on smart. They have the app. I think it's the Samsung smart TVs have the Xbox Game Pass app that just lets you stream the games, just like you would stream a movie from Netflix. So it's amazing technology. But I think PC overall is probably the best platform. And I didn't even when I only had my laptop. I bought my MSI laptop. I think I got it in 2017, 2018, and I had to upgrade. You know, but a lot of the laptops now, and especially the desktops, you can open them up and swap out the parts. You don't have to like invest in a totally new machine every 5 or 6 years. You just swap out the memory or whatever, upgrade it. So that's a plus. But I know a lot of people just want to turn the machine on and it just works. And I guess maybe we're all lazy to a degree. I'm not judging because it is. I get frustrated sometimes when I turn on my Steam Deck. Excuse me, and I have to do updates. But it's not like turning on a Windows PC or a Windows handheld because there's always drivers and apps, and that is just kind of there's problems. I guess there's problems with any platform, but I think in the long run, PC gamers save so much money, and we get so many more options. So yeah, I think PC is the way to go. But if I were to get one console, because the PlayStation exclusives are going to PC too, like the big ones. So Nintendo would probably be like the console, but I don't know what the hell they're doing with these cartridges now. That's something I gotta like do more research on because some of the cartridges are not. The game is not there. You download the game, the cartridge is just like a license. Um, So, and then some of the games you download a little bit of it, and some of it's on the cart. So you run into issues if you don't have an internet connection. I don't like shit like that because you can even get a lot. You can get discs now for like your Xbox or PlayStation, and you still have to download stuff off the internet. You don't just put the disc in and it plays. So these are things that more people should be talking about. And if we don't talk about it and complain about it and raise hell, then the companies are just going to do whatever the hell they want. And back in the day, people would get together and rally against stuff, and I wish people would do that now more. So sometimes it happens, but it needs to happen more often because I think these companies, they're getting a little bit too greedy, a little bit too, you know, and you talk with your wallet. I just think that my hobby is video gaming is getting a little bit expensive. But that's it for today. I got to get ready for my shift. I got about 15, 20 minutes before I start tonight. So I'm going to finish my coffee and I will be back probably with another video. If I do get the Switch, I'll definitely do an unboxing, but that's not until June. What am I talking about? It goes on sale, I do believe, the 6th. So if you're trying to get a Switch too, may the force be with you, because those pre-orders it's gonna be crazy.